Today, we step into the middle of a simulated cyber crisis, following it from the first suspicious alert to the final recovery. The project mirrors a real IR case file. You'll find docs for the incident scenario, logs, summary, and a timeline. Detection notes for things like MITRE mappings, IOCs, network analysis, and recommendations, and simulations plus artifacts with the raw evidence, O365 login events, internal portal logs, PowerShell activity, and harvested credentials. The incident scenario is a modern cloud to internal pivot. A finance user at Acme Corp receives a convincing Microsoft 365 style phishing lure. Their O365 credentials are captured. With no MFA, the attacker logs into the real account, browses historical emails, and discovers an internal portal URL. Because the sync credentials work internally, they move from cloud to on-prem accesses. Inside, they leverage PowerShell for enumeration and pre-credential harvesting. Here's the timeline anchor points. On 4th August 2025 at 9:15 IST, a phishing email lands in target's mailbox. By 9:27, credentials are harvested. At 9:41, the attacker logs into O365 from an unusual geo. By 10:07, they use the same credentials to access the internal portal. Minutes later, at 10:21, they begin PowerShell-based enumeration and upload a second-stage script. At 10:39, monitoring alerts fire. By 11:02, account suspension and network isolation are underway. Forensics begin at 11:27, containment is solid by 13, and by 16 hours, the postmortem is done and policies, including enforcement, are updated. The O365 login data shows the story develop. Repeated failed attempts clustered in time, followed by success from an unusual location. In the sample lines, you will notice Singapore for the same user identity, classic indicator to pivot your investigation from cloud telemetry to potential credential abuse. The network analysis fills in adversaries' post-access behavior. The time frame 2025-08058 IST to 2025-08018 IST shows outbound HTTPS on non-standard ports beginning roughly every 60 seconds. A custom user agent encrypted post requests with randomized URLs, lateral movement, exfiltration, A is encrypted. Finally, DLS cert anomalies and DNS tunneling attempts to random subdomains. The artifacts folder is the practice dataset, O365 login events, internal portal logs, PowerShell activity, credentials harvested, documentation lives alongside detection notes, IOC list for indicators, and MITRE TTPs for technique mapping. Network analysis for the traffic story and recommendations or TXT to codify improvements after a dust settles. Net pairing, evidence plus analyst notes is the habit this sim trains. Here are the 6 lessons which I learned. Speed not equals to panic. Fast is good. Verified fast is better. The login anomalies and geo signals prompted action, but only after validated context against the timeline and other artifacts. Second, logs are your truth. When those 365 login events, network beacons, and PowerShell traces agree, the narrative becomes clear. Logs cut through noise. Third, containment is chess, not checkers. The network story, non-standard HTTPS, argues for sequence containment, block IOCs, isolate paths, and avoid tipping the attacker too early. 4. Document like you are in a court. Everything belongs in the record. What happened, when, what changed, and why. In this repo, there's incident logs and incident timeline, structured notes across direction files. Fifth, team greater than lone wolf. Even if you're solo, simulate coordination. Write notes other could consume. Files like incident summary and recommendations are for stakeholders, not just investigators. 6. Postmortems prevent deja vu. The exfil window, MFA gap, credential reuse, and DNS tunneling signals translate into hardening tasks. Example, MFA enforcement, reviewing portal auth, and tuning alerts for egress and high entropy DNS.
If you found value in this breakdown, check out the full IR 1 repo. All the artifacts, timelines, and documentation are there for you to explore. I have also linked the detailed write-up for a deeper dive. And if you want more hands-on cybersecurity projects and breakdowns like this, hit subscribe and share this with someone who's building their blue team skills. The next incident could be real, and preparation starts now.